The Baltimore Ravens, who are they?
Ooh.
Are they Super Bowl contenders? Yes.
For sure.
Okay.
They got the quarterback.
More than that. They got the running back. They've got some wide receivers. They've got some of the best wide receivers they've ever had, I would think, in terms of a group. I know everybody thinks Rashad Bateman's not going to the Pro Bowl, but he keeps catching touchdowns, doesn't he? Zay Flowers, 2 tight ends, multiple running backs. Oh, yeah. They got some good players on defense, and they've got a coach that I think might be in the Hall of Fame one day. John Harbaugh's been around quite some time. He gets another championship. Who are they? Are they a team that can stub their toe and lose on any given Sunday like they did against Vegas? Cleveland? Right? I guess. Can they put it together and go on a run and win it all? Well, everybody's looking at the Bills right now.
I'd be pretty surprised.
And the Chiefs. You would be, huh?
Yeah.
You would be, huh? Walking out of Arrowhead on opening night. Did you think that?
Yeah, but
okay.
Come on, that was 4 months ago, and the first 4 weeks of the NFL season are the preseason anyway.
Lamar was a problem for the Giants yesterday, and anybody going against him in fantasy. That's for damn sure. What a terrible matchup that was for you if you're going against him in fantasy. 5 touchdowns, dude. Got it done. Got it done. Took care of business. Wasn't even close. Most games in NFL history now with 5 or more passing touchdowns and 4 or less incompletions. Let me just repeat that. Once again, in the NFL, he's now got 3 games in which he has more passing touchdowns than incompletions, and the passing touchdowns are 5 or more. The other guys who have had 2 apiece, this is a great category. I don't think you've ever figured this. You'd ever guessed this. The other ones are named Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, and Lynn Dickey. Pre-Favre Packers, Lynn Dickey, everybody. In terms of all-time games with 5 or more passing touchdowns and no interceptions, he's got 6 of those now. And the 2 guys he trails with 8 are named Brady and Brees. Brady had his 6th such game at age 40. Brees had his 6th such game at 34. Jackson turns 28 next month. And it wasn't even a day for Derrick Henry to do his thing. Although he needs 24 more rush yards to get 11,000 in his career. 1 more rushing touchdown, he would be tied for 7th most in NFL history with John Riggins. Okay. They beat up on the Giants.
Yeah,
and I know
they don't get much credit for me for blowing out and running up the score on a high school team who's trying to lose.
What about beating the Steelers at home this weekend? What do you think?
Coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we'll judge them after that.
Well, guess what? If that happens, they'll be tied atop the division with 2 to go. So after all of this, where they lost in Pittsburgh, they lost to Philadelphia, they lost to Cleveland, they started 0-2, they might win the division anyway.
Yeah, their bye week came at a kind of a good time.
You know? What do you think, TJ?
About the Ravens?
Yeah.
Look, man, any given Sunday, like you said, I think they are legitimate. I think this is the best, much like people say this is the best Josh Allen team. I think for sure this is Lamar's best offense ever, right? He's never had this collection of receivers. Obviously never had a Derrick Henry. Defense isn't as good as it has been traditionally, but yeah.
So the problem is, here's the Ravens' problem, is you take a look at their schedule, which we did. They have some winnable games for themselves, right, coming up. The problem is their tie breaks in division. That would be the issue, right? Because you take a look at the NFL standings. Make sure I get this right. I should have figured it out beforehand, but whatever. We're all hanging out together. Where are we all going? You take a look at their schedule, and they're 5-4.
Yeah, they win the
conference.
They have the tiebreak over Denver with the head-to-head.
But the problem is, again, they're 5-4 in conference. That's no bueno.
And that's pretty average. It's the same as Same as Denver, same as the Chargers. Indy and Miami have 5 wins.
Right. Okay.
But the teams ahead of them, I mean, Pittsburgh's 7-2 in conference. So if they're all even,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
They're going to have to hope Pittsburgh loses to Kansas City and then they win out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is,
but man,
could happen. It's really reasonable.
Any given Sunday, it could be one of those Lamar days on you. That's what they need to hope for. And then Derrick Henry runs you over, and then Roquan makes a play, and Kyle Hamilton makes a play, and those 4 up front make a play. Justin Tucker makes the kicks, and they can win it all. You'd have to include Baltimore in the category of they can win it all, right? You have to. Don't you?
Absolutely.
You do, but he needs, you have to. You can't sit here and say they can't. That you can't do.
Lamar hasn't been great in the playoffs. They have the 5th best odds, so yeah, they're among the top 5 teams that can win it all. But would I be kind of surprised if they did? Yeah, I think so. They're not as good as Kansas City, Philly, Detroit, or Buffalo, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Ravens are 5-4 in conference. They'd be tied in division.
I don't know if they're as good as the Vikings, to be honest.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
Boy, we'd have to see it.
Vikings are better on defense.
844-204-RICH, number to dial. Here's what John Harbaugh had to say. What is he commenting on? Is he commenting on Lamar here? Okay, here we go.
He just had a great game. He's been locked in. He's been locked in all season. He was locked in all week. He's on the guys, meetings, walkthroughs, everything. Just keeping it about football, and getting the football right. I feel like all the guys were like that. The guys came back this last week, Monday. They were ready to go. They were full of energy. You could tell that they wanted to get back to it. I think they felt like, man, this is okay. We got nothing else to do. Last week proved it. Let's go do some football. And they took the Giants seriously. The Giants are a serious football team, and it's a really good win for us.
I don't know, man. I think everybody's lost track of the Ravens. We're all looking at the bright, shiny object in Western New York, the Chiefs being the 2-time defending champs. I think people have lost the hailing distance of the Ravens.
I will say I do really like the way Lamar has improved as a passer in the last few years. He only has 3 interceptions right now. He's got 34 touchdowns and only 3 picks.
Chris, I think that comes
He's got a 120 passer rating. He's really made himself better as a passer.
Yeah,
and I think really that should be commended. The way he's done that over the last few years.
It can go down to strength of victory between the Ravens and the Steelers. Because if the Ravens win this game, they could potentially be tied in winning percentage of your head-to-head, and then within the division, and then within common games. The Ravens are 5-3 against common opponents with no games remaining between the Ravens and the Steelers. In terms of common opponents, this is outside of the division, right? The only one that the Ravens have played that the Steelers have not are the Chiefs. And so if the Chiefs win that one, they're tied in winning common games. Winning percentage in conference games. The Ravens are 5-4 with 3 games remaining. And that the Steelers' games against the Texans and Browns would be crucial. And then it goes down to strength of victory, where the 8 teams that they have beaten together have a combined winning percentage of 5-16 for the Ravens, and the Steelers' mark is down to just 42%. That might be it. That's their path. Man, it's coming down to the final 3 games, and it starts this weekend. If the Steelers win it, though, that's the end of that. That would be all she wrote. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.